Joining us now is Robert Clancy, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, and we're going to ask him to share with us some thoughts about having hope and living a great positive life.
All right, well, the quote mark I have this week is, "Love is a healing hand that holds your heart high enough above the darkness so that you're always able to see the light." And I find that when people are going through a recovery process, it's easy to become hopeless. And I've thought a lot about hope. And the great thing about hope is you can never become hopeless if you never lose your hope in what is out there. So I feel that that's an important component of any type of recovery that you have.
When somebody is diagnosed with something catastrophic or has a serious issue health-wise, is hope a way of combating that diagnosis?
I believe so in my heart. I mean, I'm sure there's scientific evidence of that. Your attitude, as we know, can affect your health in profound ways, and having a positive outlook and how you approach it can have extreme great results with any recovery process. That's what I feel.
Robert, thank you for joining us on Late Night Health. Go to latenighthealth.com and you'll be able to listen to more comments from Robert Clancy, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. More coming up here on Late Night Health. And right now we go to one of our favorite people, Catie Norris. Both Daryl and I have been taking some supplements that Catie has created, and we are really happy with them. Catie, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you, Mark. It's so great to be on this wonderful show. And hi, Daryl. How are you?
You know the answer.
You're doing great. I know that.
I'm peachy.
Yes, indeed.
Always peachy.
Always peachy. Then you don't grow peaches. He grows everything else but peaches.
I love his persimmons. My goodness.
I do too. I'd never, up until last year when he gave them to me for the first time, I'd never had a persimmon. Oh, well. We're going to talk about Catie and her background to start with. Catie, you got involved in health and nutrition. When and why?
Well, I have a rare genetic blood disorder, and I have been sick basically my entire life. And I could never eat like everybody else. I could not do everything everybody else could. I had to get my sleep. I had to, live a life that always searching for answers to try to save my life, And as I got older, I was constantly searching for answers. And even when I had my children, it was when I had my second son, that's when they discovered the rare genetic blood disorder. And I also had Lyme disease. So it was a double whammy. And so I was very sick at that time. And they said that my son would die by the age of 2.
And they being medical doctors?
Yes, medical doctors, yes. And I had written my will because my heart was just going crazy, out of control, pumping so hard and fast. And I had a lot of neurological challenges and really so many different health challenges, bloody noses, bloody gums, different things like that. But that was more for my baby when he was born. He had a lot of that kind of stuff. But I had, heart challenges, serious heart challenges. And I'd have muscle cramps. I couldn't sleep.
And so what did you do to combat this? I mean, you didn't take it. I know you. You did not take this lying down.
And that's what I always do. I say there's got to be an answer. And in using like regular supplementation, what was happening was because I was so highly acid in my body because of the combination of the two different diseases in my body, I was so acid that nothing was really being processed. And the fact that most supplements on the market are not really from food, they're chemically based, that they weren't being utilized, and they were getting stuck, and everything was getting stuck in my body. And they said that basically if I kept taking them, that I could have a heart attack and stroke.
Again, medical doctors or?
Medical doctors, yes.
Medical doctors.
My doctor.
Your
yes.
doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you discovered plant-based nutrition?
Well, I was really searching for the foods that would be really helpful, and I realized that they were so much better than the supplementation. And so I would go and search for the highest sources. If I needed vitamin C, I would find the highest sources of vitamin C. If I needed calcium, I'd find the highest sources of calcium. And and it's not easy. And magnesium and vitamin D and everything. I would just search for the highest sources. And then it got to be just too hard to constantly have these, because a lot of them were like these superfoods. And so thus was my journey into creating amazing superfoods, and now I'm considered the formulator of our time right now.
Of course, you mentioned Daryl, the insane Daryl Wayne's persimmons. And I don't know if you knew this, Daryl, but your persimmons are very high in vitamin C.
I would imagine they're close to a citrus fruit, as far as I'm concerned. And,
right.
We're treating them the same way we do oranges. We're putting them in the food dehydrator, and they're really good that way.
Well, yeah, you gave me some. Yeah, no, those are delicious.
Then you're getting super concentrated.
Yeah, they really bring out the sugar content, and they're very tasty that way.
Yeah, those are much better than the things I bring you, like chocolate drinks. What gets me about some supplements is that you can take them thinking that you're going to be healthy, but they're very hard on the body.
And they can actually become an anti-nutrient.
Yes.
Yes, and I mean, for instance, I mean, you look at some of the nutrients on the market, they don't have real foods in them, and they have petroleum and chemicals and a lot of genetically engineered organisms and things like that are actually in them because they're maybe taken from soy or corn, or they have the maltodextrins that have gluten in it and have GMOs in it and things like that. People don't even realize that. And so they think that they truly are, and a lot of people who are manufacturing these, they figure, well, they're getting this, we're giving them this, so we can, skimp on this, and we'll put in a cheap flow agent, or we'll put in some, and you can't win at the cost of another human being. Do you? Every ingredient counts.
Absolutely. Do you have? I mean, I have to ask this: do you put fillers of some kind into your capsules, into your products, or not?
No, most things don't need it. And if it does, we would do like an organic sprouted brown rice or something like that.
Which has nutritional value in itself.
Oh, of course, yeah. And because these are foods, I mean, they need to be kept out of the sun. They need to be ingested, in a reasonable amount of time and closed really tightly because, they're really precious foods, We've got
Absolutely.
Incredible, like the nettles, the jujubes, all these incredible foods that most people would never eat in their diet.
Our guest is Catie Norris. She is a concoctor of supplementation, and these are really unique supplements. I have been taking for the last month, I got to come in and buy some more, of the magnesium, because the stress in my life is at a all-time high, as it is to everybody.
Oh, absolutely. And the wonderful thing about a whole plant food magnesium supplement is that it has a natural calming effect. Not only, I mean, it just naturally will do that because, our vascular system just starts to relax and do what it needs to do, and it's not all hyper and intense,
I know that your fiance is Dr. Tony O'Donnell, who's appeared on the show numerous times and is a good friend of ours here at Late Night Health and with the insane Daryl Wayne as well. And he has more energy than any 10 people that I know.
He's amazing, isn't he?
But he uses the product on a regular basis, told me to up what I was taking, which is why I had to come in earlier.
Because the bottom line is that, when people like you who are just really go-getters, making things happen in this world and things like that, there's a lot of stress in what you're doing, and so you're going to utilize this much more so. It's almost like an athlete. The athletes that use my products, known as the Nutritionist for the stars, I get athletes, movie stars, big time, amazing singers, things like that, who utilize my products and write about me, put me in over $300 million in books and all this kind of stuff, but usually these type of people that are just so like making things happen in their life, they need maybe double, maybe triple what the normal person would need. And
I'm a
with the
go-getter.
foods,
I'm
you
a
can do that.
go-getter. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you're a
You
verbal
are
athlete.
A go-getter.
Yes, a go-getter.
Yeah.
Jump over buildings in a single
Bound.
Yeah.
Do you watch Supergirl? I think it's a
No,
great,
I don't
No,
think so.
I watch it. It's a good show. Anyway, it's fun. Katie, you mentioned acid and pH, that you were acid. And over the last couple of years, going back 25, 30 years when I first interviewed Tony, pH of one's body indicates that it can indicate health. It can indicate you've got some problems if you're acidic, and you shouldn't be. You should be, what, 7.0, which is
Right,
neutral.
Right, exactly. And, you know, a lot of people, especially people who drink the sodas, big challenge. They're close to death. Their pH is so low, it's like 3 point something or whatever, when they have that, and it'll maintain for a while, and it becomes systemic in the body. And it starts to, you know, when you become that acid, just envision putting a bone in acid. What's going to happen to it? It's going to eat it up.
Right.
So it's going to eat up your vascular system. It's going to eat up your tissue. It's going to eat up your bones. It's going to, it's just crazy. And we already have a challenge right now with cardiovascular disease. Our number one killer right now is heart disease.
Right.
And
actually, when I was visiting with Katie and Tony about 3 weeks ago, they insisted, because of my family history, that I take your pomegranate product, which I've been taking as well. And it tastes good, too.
It's yummy.
Daryl?
Yeah, I guess my question is, I've had, attaining the ripe old age that most of us have, I've had a couple of blood tests in my day, and no one has ever told me what my pH is. Do you just go get a test strip out of the pool and stick it under your tongue, or how do you test your body's
pH?
pH?
You can do that, or urine, do a urine test strip, too, or with your tongue, either one, because the bottom line is that it's going to show you. But if you're eating a really amazing diet, lots of green leafy vegetables, and most people, because most people are an O-type blood, their best diet is usually protein and vegetables. And their proteins, there can be things that are in the vegetable range too. They can be, we have an amazing vegan protein that is just crazy. It has a certification as good as whey.
Wow.
So, some people who don't do well
with milk-based.
Yeah, exactly. They animal, because, Dr. Colin Campbell from he did the China study. He's a professor from Cornell University, and the China study is just a monumental study that showed basically how crucial our plant foods are to us in bringing life to the body. And what they found, one of the things that they found that I think is really groundbreaking, is that our proteins, the animal proteins, have been linked to serious bone degeneration in the body.
We're going to talk about that when we come back, animal products, in just a couple of moments. Our guest is Catie Norris, and she is with Energy Essentials. She is their one of the founders, I guess, of the company. By the way, Renewal's Eve is coming up. It's a celebration with our friend Robert from Hitchhikers Guide to the Soul, December 31st from 4 to 7 p.m. PST. That's Pacific Standard Time, a global celebration featuring inspiration, joy, and reflection. Go to guidetothesoul.com. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues.
Are you paying too much for auto insurance or looking for coverage? Do you know which insurance company has the lowest rates? Call 800-708-5063 now, and instead of searching through hundreds of insurance companies, let us do the work for you and match you with the one company that meets your auto insurance needs. Best of all, our service is free. Did you know that you should be shopping for new rates every year? Because as your driving record improves, you will continue to qualify for more discounts. We Speak Insurance is your one source for matching you with the best auto insurance. And you can still take advantage of all available discounts, saving you hundreds over your current plan. Even if you don't have the best driving record, We Speak Insurance, so you'll get the coverage you need by calling now. 800-708-5063. 800-708-5063. That's 800-708-5063. 800-708-5063.
Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. The Tax Firm of America can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Our staff negotiates settlements, reduces penalties, and even removes garnishments and bank levies, often within 48 hours. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call 1-800-453-0755. If you or your business owe $10,000 or more to the state or IRS, and you are one of the first 100 callers, we will prepare your tax returns for free. Call 1-800-453-0755. 1-800-453-0755. This offer is limited to the first 100 callers. Call 1-800-453-0755. 1-800-453-0755. 1-800-453-0755. Call the Tax Firm of America now.